Again, good afternoon, everyone, and we very much appreciate your ability to come down and join us here today for Corrections Day, and for those who brought your family, for bringing them as well. Let's start with the posting of the colors by the DCR Honor Guard.
Honor Guard, hands up, carry, colors, forward, march. Ready. Post. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Post.
Now, please join me in honoring our flag and our republic. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you remain standing, Tim Harper will come up and do an introductory prayer for us.
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, as we come before you this day, Lord, we're thankful for those that are gathered in this room. Father, thankful for the families, Lord, and the support. And Father, all those across the state, Lord, we thank you for all that they do. Father, we pray you bless them this day. We pray you bless this food to our body. Watch over, lead, guide, direct, Lord, throughout the remainder of this ceremony. I ask it all in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. As I mentioned earlier, and some of you already know, I oversee communications for the Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety, and so that also includes its agencies such as Corrections Rehabilitation. And as a result, I don't have to tell anybody in this room that 2019 was a very challenging year for the division. All kinds of things that can be said about that. Maybe one thing that can be said is it underscores that this mission, this profession, is not for everyone. The purpose of this award, though, is to underscore that the men and women in this room being honored today are the norm and not the exception. Secretary Sandy established the Freedom Awards as one way of showing the rank and file how important they are to this state and the mission entrusted by the people of this state to this department and this division. I was with the Secretary and the Commissioner when they taped a greeting for the new, just graduated class of cadets at the Academy who completed their training yesterday. And I was taken with their remarks for that audience, apologizing that they couldn't attend. And they didn't just speak to those men and women who completed that training and will be wearing that uniform. They also spoke to the families. And these men and women, the folks here, and your families know the sacrifice that you must do every day to complete this mission. And mindful of that sacrifice and the successes that you see in small, unnoticed ways every day, that's why the Secretary has established this award. To introduce the Secretary, I'll call to the podium Commissioner Betsy Jividen.
I just briefly want to congratulate each and every one of you award winners and thank you for your service, and thank your families and loved ones for their support of your service. We couldn't do without you, and we couldn't do without them. We literally are all in this together. For the correctional officers that put their lives and safety on the line 24/7, please know how much your dedication is appreciated by us and also by the communities and by the state that you serve. And what we're starting to recognize, and what I'm especially excited about this group of award winners, is the recognition that we in corrections do more than guard offenders. We teach, we rebuild lives. We hopefully get to see the successes of our reentry planning and our hard work of programming. And we have people in the room here that are dedicated and dedicated themselves to such incredible work on that front. So we want to honor you. I want to leave you with one part. You as our employees are the most important resource we have in corrections. We couldn't do it without you. Your well-being and your safety needs to be our priority and the priority of everyone in the state. So I want to leave you with that. I want to congratulate all of you again and tell you, as I have before, how incredibly proud I am to serve with all of you. It has truly been an honor. And on that note, I would like to introduce Secretary Jeff Sandy, who has known me for 30-some years and has promised not to tell all my past secrets. I want to thank him for the support he has shown all of us throughout some, as we all know, some pretty challenging times, but also some really incredibly successful ones. So thank you all, and give you Secretary Sandy.
Well, those who know me know that I'm not the most eloquent public speaker there is. So I'm going to do some unusual things right now. The honor guard, I think the world of you guys. There's 3 empty chairs over there. It'd be my honor for you guys to come up and sit in those chairs, please. I'll tell you what, those guys have represented us the past 3 years. I mean, in my book, they're some of the best. Thank you guys for your service. As I did last year. And I'm going to start out with this. If I can, Lord willing, if I make it to March 17th, I will have served the United States and the state of West Virginia for 40 years. So what I want to do is start here. Those in this room that have served their country, United States, state of West Virginia, city, county, for over, let's just start with 40. Is there anyone here with over 40? Please stand up, please.
Old people in the room.
The old people. Okay. Thank you so much for your service. Over 30 years, if the people with over 30 years of service. Wow, thank you so much. Okay, I think we should break this down a little tighter here. 25 years. You've served over 25 years. Thank you guys. 20? Fantastic. 15? Wow. 15 and 10. Wow. Thank you so much for coming. And the last time I'll say 5 years. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, do we have any prior Freedom Award winners here today? If so, will they stand up? Thank you guys for coming today. Now, as I've told, and we have people that have not been here before, I will start and tell them the same story. Please don't fall asleep, the ones that heard this. But when I took this job, the only association that I have had with corrections was that as a federal agent, taking people to, after we've arrested them during various type charges and roundups, etc., taking them to facilities, and as sheriff, taking them to facilities. So basically, I knew nothing about corrections. I did not want to go inside a correctional facility. But the past 3 years, everyone knows this, the governor's office knows this, the past 3 years, the respect that I have for all of you is, you can't count it. And our governor, imagine, name a governor that has been able to do what he has done for you. The consolidation bill, which has allowed us to better use the resources of all 3 agencies, which gave us the Consolidated Training Academy. So someone who is in a juvenile facility can get a promotion and go to a prisoner jail and vice versa. It is the way of the future. And we need to thank the governor also for the pay raise bill. I mean, think about it. Our starting pay, I had some of your fellow corrections officers and employees calling me and would break down and crying because they did not have money to buy formula for their babies. Terrible. The governor supported the 2-2-2, 2,000, and the last segment of that is this July. And then the governor on the 5%. So we should be, and I'm going to use a word you probably can't use, we should be damn proud of what has occurred for you and your fellow employees, an $8,000, and it's going to be more, going from basically 20 to 30. So we are proud of that, and the governor is proud of you. As I said in the video to the graduation class, we need to go that next step. And that next step is, people don't know. They see a West Virginia State Trooper. They see him answering a call. They see a city or a county police officer, deputy or police officer attending a call or going out and about in their duties. They see them. But when you guys, your good work is primarily done inside the wire. People don't see that. But when you are going to work, the way you drive, when you go to stop at a 7-Eleven and get a coffee, people see you. They see how you act and behave. They see the professionalism if you open a door for someone or help somebody. When you're coming home from work and you stop, the same thing. You're visible. When you have that uniform on and your badge, you are visible. And I encourage, as the Freedom Award winners, you're special. Your peers have recognized you. And I ask you for yourself and for the people under your command, when you are out about in our state, that you wear that uniform in pride and you project what we want to project. Because the future is bright for corrections. The future is bright. I mean, I told a young lady this morning there will be an award winner. She's been on the job 6 years. The number of retirees in the executive level, the superintendents, etc., those people are at the end of their career. And we need to develop the young people to be the leaders of tomorrow. And I encourage all of you to step to the plate and be the leader of tomorrow. I hope that I can look back 10 years from today and I see articles in the paper where this person was promoted, this person did this good deed, and I can say, wow, we were able to change the landscape of West Virginia corrections. So to those honorees today, thank you for your accomplishments, and I will now turn this over to, in my opinion, one of the best public information officers in state government. What he did during the Parkersburg industrial fire was second to none. I'll turn this back to Lawrence Messina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Now, as I call each name, if the individual will come forward, the Secretary will present you with the Freedom Pin, and then the Commissioner will present you with your certificate. We will start with the Bureau of Prisons and Jails. Oh, I'm sorry. And Deputy Secretary Kirk will be presenting the BMAPS Challenge Card. If you three would please stand then. I believe that the certificates are in order, in the order that they'll be presented. recipient is Scotty Hipes, Correctional Case Manager, Mount Olive Correctional Complex and Jail. Mr. Hipes was on duty one evening in May 2019 when the Mount Olive Recreation Yard erupted in multiple inmate fights. Hipes quickly responded, zeroing in on one fight in which an inmate had been beaten and stabbed. He stopped the assault with verbal commands and by standing his ground until the other inmates dispersed. He then provided first aid to the bleeding inmate, applying direct pressure to his wounds and keeping him calm until medical personnel arrived. Hipes helped restore order and save lives without regard to his own safety, showing a clear commitment to our mission. Case Manager Hipes. Next is Lieutenant Michael Toney, Correctional Officer 5 at the South Central Regional Jail and Correctional Facility. Lieutenant Toney was supervising booking at South Central when he caught an inmate trying to bluff his way out of the jail. This offender posed as another inmate who was scheduled for release. Lieutenant Toney quickly found that the imposter did not resemble the inmate in the booking photo, nor could he answer questions about personal information in his own file. Later that day, Lieutenant Toney helped save this imposter's life. He discovered the inmate trying to hang himself in his cell. Lieutenant Toney removed the sheet from around the inmate's neck and summoned a medical assistance. With both actions, Lieutenant Toney helped preserve the security and safety of his facility in keeping with the core mission of DCR. Lieutenant Toney. Evangeline Tide, Correctional Officer 2. Officer Tide was working her shift at Mount Olive when an inmate attacked her, punching her in the face and knocked her into the ground. Officer Tide got back on her feet, held her ground, and kept the inmate in check until assistance arrived. Despite the resulting multiple fractures and trauma, Officer Tide returned to duty ahead of schedule and undaunted. Her commitment and fortitude are an example to her fellow officers as they put their lives and health on the line to fulfill our solemn public safety mission. Officer Tide. The next recipient could not join us, but I will read the citation behind her award. It's Misty Adams, the Associate Superintendent of Programs at the St. Mary's Correctional Complex and Jail. Manager Adams has shown dedication and devotion while carrying out the rehabilitation component of DCR's mission. She has been a driving force in expanding and improving the array of reentry-oriented programs at St. Mary's, including the Olive Tree Society, the Honor Dorm, the Inmate Choir, and the nationally recognized Inmate Reentry Simulation Exercise. Adams has also assisted the creation of the facility's dementia unit and the continuing success of the Moral Rehabilitation Initiative. Her tireless commitment has helped make St. Mary's an innovative frontrunner for rehabilitation programs. We move now to the Bureau of Juvenile Services. Lieutenant David Murphy, Correctional Officer 5, Tiger Morton Juvenile Center. Lieutenant Murphy performed double duty throughout 2019. Besides serving as Chief of Security for his facility, Lieutenant Murphy stepped up when Tiger Morton was without a maintenance staff for the entire year. Among other responsibilities, he handled plumbing and HVAC repairs, electrical work, and painting. He even built a goldfish pond for the residents. All told, he has set an example for the entire facility by demonstrating his commitment to its mission. Rebecca Parker, Building Maintenance Mechanic, Lori Yeager Juvenile Center. Ms. Parker started at her facility as a custodian and has since shown her commitment as a consistently dependable team member. She volunteers to fill in where needed, and so has also served as cook, worked in the laundry, accompanied transports, and has even learned to run the control room. So our thanks to Ms. Parker. Julie Timmermeyer, Corrections Case Manager, Community Resource Coordinator. Ms. Timmermeyer has helped youths in a 5-county region for 15 years. With great dedication and diligence, she has overseen that critical transition as juveniles in our custody return to their communities and need medical, mental health, education, housing, and other services. As a result, she is known to the court system, external agencies, and the families of these youths as a capable, knowledgeable, and caring professional. Manager Timmerman. Now to the Bureau of Community Corrections. Superintendent Aaron Westfall, Parkersburg Correctional Center and Jail. Superintendent Westfall is another recipient known for performing double duty. Besides overseeing the largest facility in community corrections, he supervises the former Wood County Holding Center, which is now a short-term holding facility for DCR. He successfully manages 4 distinct populations in DCR custody, including those in the residential substance abuse treatment unit. He is regularly finding ways to improve conditions at these facilities, including by reducing overtime and encouraging faith-based and other groups to assist inmates with services. Thank you, Superintendent Whistle. Richard Tingler, Correctional Officer 2, Wood County Holding Center. Officer Tingler joined DCR from the Wood County Sheriff's Office with the transfer of his facility from the county. Officer Tingler has since been instrumental in ensuring the successful transition of the holding center and its staff into a much-needed short-term facility that benefits local law enforcement. He has also stepped up and become a trainer, regularly providing on-the-job scenarios and instructing staff throughout his region on booking procedures. We thank you, Officer Tingler. In parole services, we have Laura Toller, Parole Officer 1. Officer Toller has emerged as a go-to colleague who assists with investigations, absconders, and general problem solving. Her knowledge, dedication, and emphasis on networking with other agencies has helped her break multiple cases, including a homicide, a sexual assault, a drive-by shooting, and an armed robbery. Her leadership also credits her willingness to learn and her ability to identify ways to improve the agency. We thank you, Parole Officer Toller. Lauren Story, Correctional Trainer, Bureau of Training and Staff Development, Field Training Operations. Trainer Story is known by her colleagues and DCR leadership for the high standard of performance she has set for herself. In addition to her duties as a field trainer, Story represents DCR at job fairs and has earned a place in its honor guard. Recent examples of her exceptional service include providing life-saving measures during an inmate's medical emergency, safely resolving a use of force incident, and assisting with the transport of a pregnant inmate when she went into labor. Trainer Story has consistently proven herself with her work ethic, dedication, and positive can-do attitude. We thank Trainer Story. In the area of intergovernmental affairs, we have Kathy Sizemore, Secretary 2. As the Secretary discovered earlier, Ms. Sizemore is a 21-year veteran of corrections. In her current role, she assists with constituent services and processes all level 1 grievances. She also has EEO responsibilities and handles assignments from both legal and investigations offices. Throughout it all, she has without fail been courteous, kind, and helpful, while also displaying a passion for doing the right thing and for righting wrongs. So we thank Ms. Sizemore. Among the central office staff, we recognize Captain Howard Stoffel, Correctional Officer 6. Captain Stoffel has been key to the improving recruitment efforts at DCR. His leadership and dedication have been credited for helping to reduce vacancies in the ranks by several hundred positions over the course of 2019. So we thank Captain Stoffel. In the Inspector General's office, we recognize Tim Harper, Corrections Program Manager 3, Office of PREA Compliance. Mr. Harper is the inaugural head of DCR's Compliance Office and has led a team dedicated to ensuring full implementation of that federal law. 7 of our facilities received their accreditation last year, all without needing an improvement plan. And those accredited facilities include our 2 largest prisons, Mount Olive and Huttonsville, and our 2 largest jails, North Central and South Central. For these continuing efforts, we recognize Mr. Harper. And finally, in the the Corrections Investigation Division, we recognize Acting Director Steve Berfume. Mr. Berfume helped oversee the high-profile, headline-grabbing challenge that was the investigation regarding Basic Training Class 18. This was a massive undertaking that required an accelerated time frame. Ultimately, it involved interviews conducted all across the state with more than 70 individuals, and then required a clear and focused summary of findings for the governor and the cabinet secretary. So we thank and recognize Acting Director Berfume. And this concludes our presentation. Again, we thank you very much for taking the time to travel to Charleston to join us for this and bringing your family with you. And now we can partake in the lunch. So thank you again.